Colorado Sports Recycle also offers a plethora of snarky stickers to meet all your sarcasm needs. Find them on Highway 50 between Blake and Palmer, or you can call them at 719-221-2880, but they probably won't answer. And Cahan is also supported in part by Hilltop Broadband. Hilltop Broadband offers residential and business wireless internet service throughout Salida and Poncha Springs and Chaffee County. Service is also available in Fremont County, Custer County, and more. To experience the Hilltop difference and request new customer information, visit hilltop-broadband.com or call them at 877-783-2889. Well, good morning, Salida. Welcome to the Riverflow Live. I'm happy to have the Strangebyrds, Ray and Carrie Miner, in the studio. I'm going to read from their press kit to introduce them. Ray and Carrie Miner are internationally recognized singer-songwriters and multi-instrumentalists who craft award-winning songs with a unique folk rock Americana sound. Husband-wife team, they've been together for 12 years and who hail from the mighty little town of Rawlinsville, Colorado. Man, middle of ski country up there.
Okay.
Before live audiences in their recordings, Strangebyrds' heartfelt talent, chemistry, and harmonies are a captivating brood. Their songwriting prowess and recordings have garnered numerous highly sought-after accolades with national and international singer-songwriter competitions. Man, they have their sixth album, Shrieking Violets, out this year, and their previous album, Highway Islands, were made possible after support of their fans worldwide. Man, I met Ray and Carrie a couple of years ago. They rented the house next to me, and they stayed there for like a week, and I could tell they were skiers. And anyway, we started talking, and I found out they were musicians, and I told them, I'm a DJ at the local little station here, and I started following them on social media, and I was like, holy crap, these guys are really, really good. I wish they'd come down here because they play up north all the time.
Yeah.
About a month ago, I was at Trace Vitros listening to a band, and I gazed over there, and I was like, that sure looks like Ray and Carrie over there. And I went and introduced it, and it was. And I asked them why in the heck they weren't on stage instead of the band that was up there. And they go, well, so I introduced, I told them who the owner was and the booking agent, Jason Maxwell, our newest underwriter. Thank you, Jason.
Yeah,
and introduced them, and they played last night. They played a really, really good show to a packed house on a Thursday. So I want to welcome Ray and Carrie Miner to the Hen House. Welcome, guys. Man, I'm glad to have you in here.
I should Ray is Ray Smith. Yeah. And I'm Carrie Miner, so he hasn't taken my name yet, but we are married.
My mistake.
Oh, no, that's okay. Miner's a way better last name.
It is a way
Smith.
better last name, yeah.
Really.
And he probably would prefer that. So.
When you order pizza, your order has to be notarized if you're a Smith. So, you can't just order pizza.
Aren't you glad your name isn't Lofgren? How many times you have to spell that?
Well,
or you're related to Nils.
That could be good. Nils is awesome.
You could fabricate that, I'm sure.
Funny story, I met Nils accidentally in Telluride. I was at the music store, and I was looking at mandolins. Didn't buy one, but ended up buying a CD, and I put on my card in there, and they read it, and it's like, Lofgren, are you related to Nils? And I was like, everybody asked that, and no, it's like, I wish I was, it's like, then there's a voice behind me. He goes, would you like to meet him? And it was him.
Oh,
like, oh my gosh.
Funny. Yeah.
Anyway, we're not related, so.
Yeah. And I'm not related to any Smiths, so. And there's a ton of them, so.
Yeah.
Man, I'm so glad to have you here in Salida.
Yeah.
And find out you guys have been playing here for quite a while. It's been 20 years since you played Bongo Billies.
Yeah, we used to play bongos for a bit.
It's the high side now.
High side now. We'll be reaching out in case they're listening.
Chief and Angela, are you listening, man? These guys are really good. They've been really good on the patio this summer.
There you go.
Yeah, no, we love Salida. Salida is probably the only other town that we really know other than our local little town, Nederland and Rawlinsville.
It's kind of we call it our runaway town, like when we need a break just to get away.
Yeah.
And we love skiing Monarch. We live 6 miles from Eldora. but they've kind of oversold the mountain, so we really love coming down here midweek.
It's usually uncrowded.
Yeah.
You got it right after that big dumpage too.
Yeah.
It's like, wow.
It was nice the other day. However, I did take a major digger. I've been snowboarding for 40 years and riding snow from 60, and I caught a backside edge looking behind me.
For me, probably.
I got ragdolled, as they call it.
And in the old days, we didn't wear helmets. Thank God you had a helmet on this time.
The helmet was nice,
Yeah.
but my lower back, was not protected. But I survived. Which is what we're doing. We're surviving.
He survived that, and he's beat stage 3 prostate cancer too. So
that's true too.
Congratulations.
He's a survivor all the way.
Congratulations! What a huge.
I'm on the back end of that,
And that's how you got the Shrieking Violets.
Yeah.
Yeah, we wrote and recorded that album in the year and a half I've been doing the cancer journey.
Yeah.
And we just we found out that I had a really high PSA number. I hadn't been to a doctor in like 40 years. I was fine. I'm like a lot of guys, it's like, I don't feel bad. Why should I go to a doctor? And I had no symptoms and just, but a super high PSA number of 53.6, which is insanely high.
We caught it just before it was stage 4. So that was a good catch.
Combined with the journey of finding the right treatment, right doctors and stuff, we also, write music. And so that's how we process everything in life is through our music.
So we were about a third of the way into writing it when we had the vision of we booked Town Hall. We went ahead and booked it even before the album was done. We were going to fill it to capacity and then donate $5 of each ticket to cancer care patients. And the fund goes directly to them. There's no administrative costs. So we did. We sold out Town Hall.
That's incredible.
We raised $1,000 for UC Health cancer care patients. And we did that because they were so wonderful with us, the team up there at UC Health.
It speaks highly of you two, what they think of you too, to have that type of turnout.
Well, the funny thing is now when we go into that hospital in Longmont, everybody knows us.
Yeah. They all stand up and they
When I was going through radiation a year ago, December, I had 20 days of radiation, so they have a little gong at the desk when you're finished with your radiation. You hit the gong and everybody goes, congratulations, And I saw a couple guys do it and there wasn't a lot of fanfare. And I just said, I want to play, after my last session, I want to come out and play a part of a song that we'll probably play today.
Yeah.
It's a real positive song about living the day. Just want to play a verse and a chorus and then I'm going to hit the gong. And I only told the people in the radiation room, and they apparently let the whole hospital know.
We had the entire hospital.
We came out of that session, and the hallway was filled with all these people that obviously
VIPs.
They all had other things to do,
Yeah.
And I was really touched by that. So we
cried.
We did that.
We played the verse and the chorus, and then we cried, and then he forgot to hit the gong, so I had to remind him.
But it was so. It's it's just been our journey is documented sort of roughly loosely on our album. All the songs came from the journey, caregiver, patient, but they're not about cancer.
It's a pretty uplifting album.
It's very uplifting,
And it was we decided, I guess, in November before Ray started his aggressive radiation that I send out a MailChimp newsletter to our fans every month, and we were not going to go public, and then we decided to go public, and the outpouring of love from our fans was mind-boggling. It was really beautiful, and
so cool.
We also by talking about it openly, because it's kind of a silent thing, got a few guys, friends of ours, to go and get have a physical and get checked, and we inspired one of our friends who's stage 4 to open up and tell his family, which he hadn't done, and friends. So all around, it was just a really incredible experience.
Been really interesting, being honest about our lives, which is what all of our albums you know, that's what we write about, not strictly about us, but our feelings about many other things in the world. But that album, you know, just it's got a poignancy to our life right now.
Yeah.
But it's a rock album, and we can't really, you know, we did 3 gigs with the band, and
Now we're back to folk America.
now we're just rocking the songs in our duo status. You know?
We do have one more
show.
rock show at a barn up in Longmont. It's a private residence, so you can get tickets to that by going to www.barnevents.info. Yeah, it's on our website.
It's on our website.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful barn.
Yeah.
We're going to be there with the full band on April 27th.
Yeah.
And we're going to rock out one more time.
Yeah.
Then we play them on acoustic guitar, which is where they all start anyway. They all start in the kitchen on an acoustic guitar, you know.
Best place.
You know, yeah, that's where it happens.
Well, I usually start my interviews out with, how did you get started in music? I mean, did your parents buy you a piano, a guitar, a school band, or?
My start came, well, first with The Wizard of Oz when I was 4. I was Dorothy, and I'd like go around the dining room table singing at the top of my lungs, "Follow the Yellow Brick Road." Then Julie Andrews came out with Sound of Music, and I was Julie Andrews. I mean, like music just spoke to me. My mom talks about how when I was a little girl, she and Dad be waking up on a Saturday morning and they'd hear me just singing, you know, in my bedroom. Just like
I can imagine that sweet
waking
little
up
voice of a little girl singing.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And then I got a ukulele in like 6th grade, and my music teacher called my mom and said, "Your daughter needs a bigger axe." She didn't say it like that. She said, "Your daughter needs a guitar." So Mom took me to Forbes Maher, got me a guitar, and I started writing songs in like 7th grade and 8th grade, and played with a friend of mine, Pam Pennington, and we'd enter all the Ted Mack, you know, contests, talent contests, and yeah, so.
Your songwriting's impressive between the two of you. It's like really nice songwriting. I can see why you got all the accolades and the awards you've won internationally. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
And you've been to Telluride festivals, and
Yeah.
I lost my list. I've already taken it off. But wow.
Yeah.
It's nice to have you guys in here. It's
Yeah.
like,
I've been a finalist quite a few times. I've played bluegrass up at Folks at the Folks Fest in Lions and Telluride, and then finally Ray was recognized in 2022 as a finalist on the main stage. So that's
I'd been entering. You know, I mean, I never take it personally. You know, we get our audience reaction when we play live, which is really how our songwriting came together, because before we played a lot of music out, you know, the songs were a lot more about introspection, you know, and then we started realizing that writing about things around us and more universal themes, you know, finding the universality in a concept of a song about your parents or, you know, whatever you're feeling about the world, you know. Making it universal so people pick up on it right away.
And watching our audience's reactions, like whenever we have a new song, as we're writing the album, we'll play it out to see what kind of reaction.
Who's the guy who said the song's not finished until you play it live? Some country guy, Guy Clark, I think. I think that's really true, because you can be so hot about a song, you just think it's awesome, and then you just see this blank look or people not getting it, you know, and it's like in the can. You know, they gotta prove themselves live, I think, and luckily we get a lot of nice shows, and we get to play singer-songwriter venues, you know, where people appreciate it. Some, you know, playing Tres Litros, you know, there's the whole right side was all in. The rest of the room, we kept reaching out, and we finally grabbed them. So you know, it was good. But they weren't there to hear us. But that's where our music formed, because we especially in the beginning, we played a lot of venues where nobody knew who we were. So you know, you need to grab them.
Yeah, and playing in a bar, there's a lot of banter going back and
There
forth.
can
be, for sure.
Always, just the nature of it.
And you can't take it personally.
We have an excellent listening room at the A Church. I'd love to hear you guys
Heard
play.
about that,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just down the corner from
Our friends,
house.
Morris McCumber play there.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
excellent.
Court and
Yeah,
James.
Court and
What did
James.
Good buddies.
They produced our Devils and Desires
Mhm.
album. Yeah.
I have some good friends, Paul and Carol Dyer. They're from my hometown. They said they know you, and they heard that they're gonna. He's trying to book a gig up here and sometime in May and something, trying to work out the logistics.
Yeah. We
and
just
all
met
that.
them.
I was kind of
They're
hoping he'd
really
call me
nice
to come in the
people.
studio
Yeah.
because we talked about it a little bit up at Gold Hill Inn, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
I think he's going to Oklahoma now to do
That's
it.
okay. Call Paul. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on, Paul.
Ray, how did you get in music? I know you're from New York City. Did you play in bands when you were in high school? I mean, you grew up in the 60s and 70s, I heard.
I started playing when I was 8, and I had a buddy on my neighborhood, Jimmy Kirkland, who played drums, and we were playing monkey songs, and then Jimi Hendrix hit the scene, and we went from Last Train to Clarksville to Foxy Lady, and there was no going back.
Yeah.
I mean, so, and then it was just one band after another. When we were younger, we played at the elementary school dance. Then we got a little older, we played at the junior high school. Then we played at the high school. And then the year I graduated high school, the drinking age changed to 18 in Connecticut. So we went from playing the high schools to bars. And, the bar owners would always tell us our girlfriends drank our money. We're like, what girlfriends? We had no girlfriends, But yeah, no, I just played in a bunch of bands, and I was signed to Vanguard Records in 1975 with a band called Flying Island. And it was a fusion band. My band before that was the Dog Breath Blues Band. But these guys were a really good band, and they were losing their guitar player. And they asked me to join, and I did. We ended up doing a demo for Vanguard Records. They signed us to a 5-year deal, which we did 2 years and 2 albums of. Just because they weren't promoting us. It was a classic 1970s bad deal for the artist. You gave away your publishing, all your royalties went to pay off your $20,000 album debt per album, and I moved on from there. I was never signed to another record label.
Is there still recorded music of that out there?
Oh yeah, Flying
What's
Island.
the name of it?
Flying Island, yeah.
I'm gonna look this up.
Kind of
Yeah.
jazz fusion or
It was rock. Yeah, I
Rock
mean
fusion?
they called
Yeah.
it jazz rock at the time, but
It's prog
now
rock
it
now.
would be considered prog rock.
yeah.
The only guy in the band that really, really went places was the keyboard player Jeff Bova, and he's played with it. He was Joe Cocker, Robert Palmer.
Mariah Carey.
He's played with everybody: Eric Clapton, Michael Jackson.
You name it.
I mean, the guy's he's a major heavy hitter. And a
nice guy.
Really, really super nice guy. And but we all split ways, and everybody went different ways. And there's a ton of stories in that whole thing that I won't get into. But yeah, that was sort of
We'll
my
just
background.
talk the whole hour.
And then I moved to Colorado, and I was sort of getting back into music. I got disillusioned with music because of a bunch of hard knocks, and so I stepped away for a few years, and then I moved to Colorado, and I didn't know any musicians, so I went to this Rocky
Song
Mountain
school.
Folks Festival, song school, to meet some local players, and I
Holy
met Carrie
cow.
there
Ding,
in
ding, 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 ding.
1999,
Good move, Ray.
and we,
Did you hit it off right off?
We've
she
been
said, "I got
together.
a show to play." Yeah, we did. We were friends right away,
Yeah.
and she said, "I got a show coming up, and I need help filling time, And so we
Started getting together and
started getting together
Yeah.
to cross over a little bit, play some songs together,
Yeah,
with our own stuff, and then and we just fell into being a duo, and then we fell in love, and
I think we came down here. We were trying out a name called Sleight of Hand,
that's right.
and we played somewhere in Buena Vista, right?
Yeah, we
And-
played the old
And
Idlewild.
a bunch
I
of
think.
people came thinking that we were a magic act. So we then we were
Yeah.
just Carrie Minor, Ray Smith, and then we became Strangebyrds in 2011.
11, yeah.
Yeah.
You've been together as a couple for 25 years and the
Yeah.
Strangebyrds for 12 years
Yeah,
now.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, the
Wow.
albums before that were more, we just hadn't gelled yet. We were
Yeah.
still thinking like a band, because I came from bands,
Yeah.
but we loved Gillian Welch and David Rawlings, and
Yeah.
we loved people that could just sit down at Stacey Earle and
Her guy.
her guy,
Yeah.
and
Steve
we,
Earle's sister.
so we just
Mark.
decided, when the downturn of the economy in like 2008, we just started to think about shelling the band
And
concept.
we were starting to travel more and do the Folk Alliance International and all that stuff, and it was just easier of the two of us, not to have to bring a whole band and
You
pay
make
them and
no
go home
money
with
with
$100
the
in your
band.
pocket.
Yeah. Split it 5 ways instead of 2.
Oh my God! Well, the way we always ran it was we'd pay the band first, so we'd make sure bass player and drummer got a nice pay, and then we would take what was left, and that started going down when the economy started to get down, and we were just like, we got to
That's
just
not the only
commit.
reason. I think our sound started changing too to more
It
folk
did.
Americana.
We just decided to commit to doing our duo thing and make that what we do. And so, and then it started to really gel when we took on the Strangebyrds moniker. Carrie had written this one song, A Stranger's Face, it just blew me away. And I'm like, we got to do another album together, because she was working on a solo album and I was working on a solo album. And she wrote this song that was so outside of herself, and I was like, that is a really good song. We got to,
Yeah.
And so we.
That was from song
We did
school. I
that.
took a class with Peter Himmelman, and he said, "I'm going to let you go into the field. I want you to use these 3 chords, and I want you to write about something that's never happened to you, that you've never experienced." And that was the premise for that. But
What a homework assignment, huh?
yeah,
But it makes you think outside of yourself, because as a songwriter, if every song is about you, it can get kind of tedious to the audience. I think, unless you're just brilliant at that. But I think writing outside of yourself helps you expand your songwriting.
yeah.
You
And
got to
Jason-
really think about it. You
Jason,
can't just.
Jason Isbell talks that a lot. He does online tutorials so you can watch.
And we love Jason.
And
as well.
his they're just amazing. The way his thought process is, and we love his writing.
He's been such a good songwriter. I saw him back when he was in the Drive-By Truckers.
Right,
And I was
right.
like heartbroken. It's like, what's going to happen when he leaves? It's like, he's done quite well.
Yeah,
And they've
he's
taken
so
off
great.
and done their own
he
thing.
got straight
Yeah.
and just.
He got sober, yeah.
Got straight, got
and,
married, had a kid. Yep,
And he just.
he's
yeah,
rocking it.
The guy bloomed. The guy really
Yeah.
bloomed, And that's what everybody hopes to do.
Yeah.
Well, and then Drive-By Truckers, I've seen him a whole bunch of times. Used to be one of my favorite bands, but a lot of they dwell on negativity and the darkness of life and stuff. And it's just like, anyway,
Yeah.
what you listen to affects you. And
Yeah.
I don't listen to it much anymore.
Yeah.
I still respect them. So
Yeah.
It's
that's life.
Artists.
I gotta
morph and
say, it's hard to
change,
write a really happy song. Like, it's easier for me to write about something that's a little shadier and darker, like more of a human
Heartbreak and-
experience. But
yeah.
I don't want to have all our songs be like that,
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
You don't have any murder ballads?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Bucktown, I sang it last night.
Oh,
Trixie
yeah.
Lee.
That's right.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
about ladies of the night,
Boulder
I
County.
love that.
shootings.
Oh
And,
God, it's such a rich history. They would like set each other's houses on fire. The houses of ill repute. They'd have
Okay, we
these-
did a non sequitur. Nobody on these mics knows what we're talking about.
I
so-
know. The song I wrote, Bugtown, about the ladies of the night in the late 20s in Boulder.
In Boulder, Colorado,
Yeah.
Bugtown.
It was great last night, guys. Would you guys like to play some music? I
Yeah,
mean,
Sure.
Yeah.
You want to do that? You want to do Angeline?
Sure, we'll do Angeline from Highway Islands.
Okay, let's.
We're gonna stand up and move these mics a little.
Yeah,
bit.
let's.
Can't stand sitting down.
There we go. I hope we don't throw the cameras off too much. So we'll put them like that. introduce this a little?
I wrote this song during our worldwide pandemic. I was safe harboring my mom. And my mom loves to drink wine. So she's going to be 96 next month, and she's amazing. We call her Mighty Marion. Anyways, I was in our local liquor store picking up some wine and telling the owner how I was going through, like, just taking a dry time for me, but supplying my mother. And he said, well, thank goodness not everybody in our little town's doing that, because I'd be out of business, you know. And then he started telling me about a guy who would come in every day and tell me he's going to quit and then be there the next day. And I went home that night, fell asleep, woke up at 3 in the morning and wrote Angeline. We've all met an Angeline and have been there in that place.
Live from the hen house, guys. It doesn't get any better than this.
Here we go.
Very nice. Man. That's off the Highway Islands?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good CD.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was.
Doing our best with our morning voices here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
You
grab
know-
my bazooki.
You
I'll
never
be right
quite
back.
know what's going to jump out when you
Reminds me of my mom. Use your morning voices.
start singing in the morning after singing till 10 last night. But there's something in there. It's always fun to play either way. So, do you want to do another one or?
She's pulling. Yes, please. Yeah, she's pulling out her bazooka. I mean, her bazooki.
Bazooki.
Don't say that at the
Yeah.
airport.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, I don't know anybody
Enunciate
can
the
play
E.
a gun for an instrument, but
Well, like Woody Guthrie said, this machine kills fascists. He had they make stickers, the guitar.
We have the Woody Guthrie Festival in Oklahoma every year in August.
Oh right, yeah, yeah.
It's a good festival to go to, except for it's the hottest part of Oklahoma, the
oh
hottest
gosh.
month.
Yeah.
And it's Oklahoma, but I'm not going to sing it.
Hey, there's a lot of good people in
Right.
Oklahoma, but
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I had to get out of there. The heat and humidity and the politics,
Oh, yeah.
I didn't agree with. So
Yeah,
Right.
we're not heat people
be
at
tough.
all. That's why we live at 8,800 feet.
Yeah. So this next song was the song I played when I finished my radiation. And it's from the album. It's a song called Only One Today.
Highway Islands album.
Yep, from the Highway Islands album. And it came about, we were leaving the house, going somewhere, and we were talking about something. I said, well, there's always more tomorrows. There's only one today, so...
I pulled out my
Um,
little phone and wrote that in my notes.
Yeah, she takes notes when I talk because I'm so brilliant.
good job.
This song came about from that little cue. There's only one today.
Yeah.
Here we go. You ready?
You sure?
Today, bon.
You can only be lucky as the day is on. Living your life, singing your song. Kicking the tires when you're on your way. Always more tomorrows, only one today. I used to be angry, you used to go fast. And I got old and it kicked my ass. It ain't for the light-hearted, they say. Always more tomorrows, only one today. Always more tomorrows, only one today. I'm still in a hurry at a different pace. I still like to feel the wind in my face. I act like a child most of the day. Always more tomorrows, only one today. Sometimes I think it's good to let go of the things that hold you down on the floor. Kicking the tires and you're on your way. Always more tomorrows, only one today. Always more tomorrows, only one today. Always more tomorrows, only one today.
Yeah, man, thank you.
I'll
Yeah.
catch you, honey.
That is such a good song, and man, you played that. Then you rang the gong after
Then I rang
that
the
song.
gong.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
almost forgot. I had to
I almost
remind him.
forgot, and when I hit it, it was like this little 12-inch gong, and it was so friggin' loud. It was like,
Well, because he hit it 10 times harder than anybody has ever hit it before.
maybe
With
so.
enthusiasm.
We
with,
should actually
with
make
purpose.
We should do a YouTube of put that up on our channel on Strangebyrds.
Yeah,
That'd be a good thing
that's
to do.
true. We should. Yeah. Yeah.
I love that song. I played it last week on my show to promote your Thursday show, and it's like,
Oh, nice.
Good.
it sounds familiar, and I had to look, and it was like, yeah, that's the song I played.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that and
Yeah.
Big Boat on your new album,
Yeah, tiny
Big
boat.
wave,
big
Tiny
Tiny
Boat,
Boat.
Tiny Boat, Big Wave.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like that's good
So
stuff.
when we first went public with Ray's news about his cancer, we had a lot of people offering us money and like all kinds of support, and we were like, we're good. And so then I said, if you wanna do something, send us an old-fashioned snail mail card, So we must have gotten over 200 cards, and actually our bedroom door is just lined with all these cards.
That is so
and
cool.
I'll let Ray tell the story about
Yeah,
our
I
friend
mean,
Maggie
I was
Sims.
blown away, just to preface the song, at how many people, went out, picked out a card, wrote something. Like, you put your music out there, people come over, hey man, great album, I hear it in my car, blah blah blah. You get a little feedback, but the feedback we got from these cards was like, I've been listening to your music for years, and it's inspired me and it's comforted me, and I mean, it was really amazing the thoughts that people wrote down.
Yeah.
And they had to get a stamp and they had to put it in the post office when they could have just written a text,
Yeah.
which is the way you go now. But
Yeah. We got texts and emails too. but
yeah, we did. But the mind blower was the amount of cards that
just
came snail
unbelievable
mail. It was
from
really
all around the world.
Nobody sends cards and letters anymore, and to get that many, that's
what was
really
And
heartfelt.
then
that was
when,
super touching.
when we started our the radiation, about 4 nights in, we live way up high in the mountains, and I remember it was December, the dark of December, that we were doing this every single day, and we came home like the 5th night in, and I remember I was feeling like kind of low, just kind of flagging a bit. And I opened up our computer, and there was a letter from a woman who'd seen us in Ireland in 2017, and she said, "When Ray's done with his treatment, please come and stay with me for as long as you'd like, for respite and for recovery." So we did. We went last September to Dingle, Ireland, and we got to hang for about 10 days. We will be back there. We're going to build that, and then we just had such a healing, beautiful time.
That's on my bucket list to make it. I'm half Irish, so
Oh, you
I've
gotta
never
go.
been.
You gotta go. Yeah.
Got to practice on the
So
lingo.
yeah, but in with those cards came about this next song, and I'll have to go out and get my other guitar. But one of our wonderful friends, Maggie Sims, who's a playwright and an actress in Gold Hill, Colorado, she sent postcards every 2 weeks, pretty
Yeah.
much, with
A
just
theme.
covered with positive messages that she had found from all these different.
Yeah, so the
Incredible
postcard would have a
people.
picture, and whatever that was on the back would be all these like really uplifting quotes.
Yeah, really
Yeah.
creative thought and thoughtful thought. And one of the cards she sent this little phrase that she had sent to her son, who had a really bad snowboard accident at one point, and he was suffering in the hospital. And she wrote this little line, said, "It's a great big wave and a tiny little boat. You got to stay afloat."
Well, she actually whispered that into his ear as he was going into
Right,
into the
Oh,
surgery.
that's right. Yeah. So she wrote that
because
line.
they told her they could just talk to him for 1 minute before he went in. That's
She
what
wrote that
said.
line to me, and it sat in my craw, and I was like, that's a great line. I got to write a song with that. And I wrote a couple of drafts before this one, and then Carrie helped me, and we finished the song up, and it just was a beautiful line, and it sort of encapsulates that whole concept of the cards coming to me, all these people you don't know that they give a crap about you, and all of a sudden, you're sobbing over their card.
Yeah.
So,
We had a woman last night at our show who actually told us that I send out a MailChimp every month, a music newsletter, and she told me that during COVID that my newsletter saved her life. Like literally saved her life.
That is so cool.
And you never know. I send those out and sorry, hon.
That's okay.
It's a small studio.
Yeah.
We'll do some rearranging
As it
here.
should be. As it should be.
Anyway, so she knows who she is. She's listening probably right now. And
I hope so.
And we love her. She's really cool.
Yes.
And dealing with cancer and stuff, trying to keep a positive mindset, because I mean it tends to go dark, and and you're worried and stuff like that.
Well, that's
This
where
is
the
one of
new
our
album,
lightest songs.
That's
So
where the new album came from, was processing all that in a positive way, because if you're not positive, then it's really hard, I think, to recover from that kind of stuff, mentally and physically, So we always feel as though, our music is the way we process our lives. I said that before, but super true on this album. And again, it had to be positive. There's a couple of moments of things that are emotionally sensitive, but overall, it's a really positive album, because that's what you got to do.
very much so. Get up and go.
I can't wait to play it on air.
It he's in remission, so it's really cool.
This is off the Shrieking Violets album.
Yeah.
Big Wave, Tiny Boat.
You ready?
Okay.
Let's see. You got a good position there. Get your voice in there. Okay. All right.
Should I have this higher like yours? Maybe?
Yeah. It's just. I'm gonna turn it just a little. Is that okay, Jim?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm gonna
Small
get her
studio. We
voice
can
in.
adjust
Yeah.
the volumes
Okay,
here.
cool.
Yeah. All right. Ready?
Yep.
Give me that thing.
2, 3.
It's a great big wave and a tiny little boat. You got to stay afloat. You got to stay afloat. It's a great big wave and a tiny little boat. You got to stay afloat. You got to stay afloat. In the ocean of life, there are many waves. They can take your life or make you brave. And with all your might, you could ride the swell, live to tell. It's a great big wave and a tiny little boat. You got to stay afloat. You got to stay afloat. It's a great big wave and a tiny little boat. You got to stay afloat. You got to stay afloat. Well, a boat ain't nothing but a hole in the water. With your baggage, the things that weigh you down. And the most important part is the beat of your heart and the journey through the storm to get back home. As time goes by, you understand that after all, you're just a man who can only control what is in his hands, what's in his hands. It's a great big wave and a tiny little boat. got to stay afloat. You got to stay afloat. It's a great big wave in a tiny little boat. You got to stay afloat. You got to stay afloat. It's a great big wave in a tiny little boat. You got to stay afloat. You got to stay afloat. Woo.
Yeah. I love this song.
Big wave,
Well,
tiny boat.
good lyrics.
Thank you.
Thank
Man,
you.
I have a good friend, Ken, and he's going through the same thing you went through, and I just got a text update. He's going for his 42nd and final radiation today up in Denver. His PSA has shrunk from 11.4 to under 1 now. So congratulations, Ken.
Yeah, Ken.
Congratulations,
You know,
Ken. Go,
Our
Ken,
prayers
go.
are still out for you, man. That's good news.
And again, that the general high on a PSA is 4.0. Mine was 53.6,
Wow.
but it
Yeah.
hadn't breached the prostate yet, so it didn't
We caught it just in
metastasize. So
time.
I was really lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, were you feeling tired all the time or any type
No,
of
Nothing.
symptoms?
No symptoms.
Nothing. Just
The
went
only
in for the
symptoms
for the
him
blood
were-
test.
was me nagging him to go get a physical. He
Yeah,
hadn't had one in so long.
I go get one every blood test every year just to
Yeah.
have it,
Hey,
Yeah.
to see what changes.
There's another song coming. It's going to be something about I felt great until I went to the doctor. Now I got prostate cancer, AFib, sleep apnea. Pick one.
Hey, it's dry. You get eczema now, so
I'm a pretty healthy dude, too. So.
have you gotten your Medicare card
felt
yet? Because
good.
it comes with a whole bunch of bonus stuff that's
Yeah,
free.
Oh, yeah, thank goodness for Medicare.
Felt good.
I was healthy until I got my red, white, and blue card. Then all these ailments come in.
Exactly, right? Isn't that the truth?
And Rick White's in the studio. Well, this is the guy, my mentor that trained me. He did that.
There he is.
Nice
Hey,
to meet
Rick.
you.
He says it's an ongoing process. So
I can't believe that they have me training people.
well, yeah, the best DJ we have here in the station. But anyway, he's got like 3 shows throughout 3 days and stuff.
Oh,
But
nice.
I just do all mine in one
Good on
day.
ya.
Nice.
Well, it sounds great. I was listening and thought I'd just drop by.
Oh,
Well,
cool.
thanks for
very
stopping
much.
by, Rick.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What time is it? I hadn't even been looking at the clock, man. We're filling up an hour.
It's
goes
now
by quick.
11:52.
We got.
You said you guys have gone over to Ireland. Have you toured over in Europe too?
We went over in 2017 with Moores and McCumber.
That
And
would be
so
an
we would-
awesome trip.
We would do little shows in between their sets and just kind of got to know people.
Yeah.
And then this time we were going to go over and we were supposed to play, but Ray's side effects were pretty intense over there, so we called it a rest trip. And so we'll be going back because we met a lot of the music community and got pretty tied
It's a
in.
great place to go see music because
Yeah, the trad. The trad.
the
music.
level of the musicianship there is just otherworldly,
Yeah.
because they start really young and the melodies that they play stand alone, like they don't have changes under them. So it's a really interesting concept. You have so that it'll be so and so on fiddle, so and so on button accordion, so and so on uilleann pipes, and a backer. And the backer is a guitar player, so
Yeah.
you don't even get your name up there sometimes.
You're just
if you're
the backer.
guitarist. Yeah.
Yeah.
Guitarists are not kings there. But the cool thing they get to do is the melodies live alone. Like the melodies are a couple thousand years old, and they represent their journey to freedom, through the famine and all this stuff. And so the backer, when the melody player is playing the melody, he gets to dictate the changes underneath the melody. So he really has an important role, but they're sort of not looked down on, but they're not the star of it, you know. But they make the other guys sound really good. But yeah, they
The
have all
uilleann
these.
pipes are really amazing
Uilleann pipes
too.
are
They
incredible.
have such a beautiful, haunting kind of sound, you know.
And
Like
they're-
really get
yeah.
into your heart chakra.
And there's
My family's from County Cork, Skibbereen, Connell family. So next time we're going to
Yeah.
go and hang there for about 4 or 5 days.
My very first interview was from Patsy O'Brien, and I
Wow.
was terrified. This is my first interview. Never did one. You get a caffeinated Irish guy in here. There was no lack of conversation for the entire
I
hour.
bet
It was
you
like,
didn't say
yes.
one word.
those guys can go, man, you know, and there's always something funny, you know. It's just really interesting talking to Irish people, and they're just different in a very cool way. And
Do you have time for one more song or no?
Yes,
Yeah.
please, and thank
Do you
you.
want to do something like No Time to Cry off the rock album, maybe?
sure, okay, yeah, No Time to Cry. What the heck? So
And this is just kind of like what the album's about, is that, you know, we stayed really super focused positively. I did write a song for the Caregivers called Rock Bottom on a particularly, you know, low day, but it's a really beautiful song. And then I also wrote my favorite season about, well, the whole line is my favorite season is the fall of patriarchy after the, you know, Wade versus Roe thing came out, and feeling like, you know, women need to be heard and seen. And that's a really like an AC/DC rocker for women, for men too. But
Yeah.
it was just like a really fun album to write and do some powerful, you know, lyrics and get a little crazy. But-
yeah, it was, you know,
And this
it's-
one I think
it's
is
how we
just-
get through. So,
Yeah.
yeah, this one, No Time to Cry.
Well, guys, enjoy this song. I'm probably going to close out my show with this. So I want to thank
Okay.
my underwriters, my
Yeah.
listeners, and thank Carrie Miner and Ray Smith. I got the name right for
Yeah.
once.
Thank you, Jim. Where's my pizza?
Anyway, thank
And
you
I wanna
guys.
thank
And
KHEN 106.9 FM.
We'll
guys,
be
you
back.
know the mantra. Be kind, be grateful, and make somebody
I
smile
love that.
today.
Yeah. Hopefully we
wonderful.
do.
Enjoy. This is the Strangebyrds.
Here we go. 2, 3, 4.
An eye for an eye is what they say, but you can't keep carrying on that way. And you know in your heart that when you die, it leaves you no more time to cry. When you take it on the chin and you let it go, give away your heart and soul, then you make it all better and you wonder why. It leaves you no more time to cry, no time to cry. No time to cry. After all these years of breaking it down, you get tired of wearing a thorny crown. You've got to get away from the darkened sky, then it leaves you no more time to cry. An eye for an eye is what they say, but you can't keep carrying on that way. And you know in your heart that when you die, it leaves you no more time to cry.
above and beyond the ordinary.
KHIN is supported in part by Woods Mountain Distillery. The Woods brothers have bottled their passion for outdoor adventures into spirits that shine with the essence of the mountains of Colorado. Woods High Mountain Distillery is a grain-to-glass distillery and tasting room committed to building community through building conversation. Woods is located at 144 West 1st Street in downtown Salida.
Are you an older adult who loves movies? Join Chaffee County Public Health on Wednesdays at 2 for the Age Strong in the Afternoon movie matinee. Films are shown at the Stardust Theater in